Hey all, I've been working on a map for the Hercules Instinct. I showed little bits and pieces of it in some short videos that I made before. And here I'm going to show you the almost complete map. I'm also going to have it available for download so I can maybe get some feedback or see what everybody thinks about it before I continue with it. It's pretty complete. It has a lot of functions. If you read the description below, it'll have the download link. You'll also have a brief explanation of what all the different keys do using the two separate shift functions. So as before in my other videos, you have to have, make sure you have the pitch repeat frequency and delay set to 10 milliseconds, just like in the other videos in the Hercules control panel. So we do that first. Pop on into VirtualDJ, and I have a nice no attribution song here so I don't get copyright flagged. And I'm going to show you a couple things. In the last video I did, I showed you how the equalizers and how the effects knobs work, so you can watch that. I don't want to repeat that because I don't want this to go on too long. Couple things we have here, of course, you know, the usual play, usual cue, etc. The way the normal one works. We also have using shift down on the play button. We can do a slip mode dump, which is pretty nice. Let's see, with the effects section on here, of course you can trigger effects. You know, the usual kinds of effects, but by using shift up while you have the effects section active, you can do some quick loop rolls without having to change which mode you're in. So, you know, that's kind of cool. What else do we have in here? Let's see. Okay, so if we switch the Hercules Instinct over to sample mode. Now we're in sample mode. Let me show you the sampler over here. Now, hitting any button on the four sides triggers up to 4 samples, and they're separate for both sides, because on the old mapping you actually just had 4 samples repeated. Now we actually have 1 through 4 on the left and 5 through 8 on the right. So we could trigger a sample, and we could trigger one of these. Then if we push up, hit the same button again, we kill the sample. Now, if we push down on the pitch paddle, so this is a shift down position, we can cycle through the sampler banks. So that's kind of cool. And we also have stop all samples on the effect 3 button while shifted down. So that's one little thing to... mainly what I tried to do with this map was to make it so there was a little bit of overlap, meaning while you're on the sampler, you could use the... you could hit other stuff. You could use the filter roll on the main song while you're using the sampler, or start a loop. Okay, so let me show you guys. I'm taking the Hercules to its cue mode. Now, of course, we have your standard cues, just like in anything else. You hit a cue button, and if you shift down, if you watch up at the top there, shift down, hit the button, the cue gets deleted. So let me change this real quick. So yeah, so we could set a cue. We could set 4 cues, and then we could jump typical style. Now, if you hit, let me change this real quick. If you hit up shift while you're queuing, it actually will start a loop at the cue point. Yeah, kind of neat. That was something I thought of. I don't know if that's going to be all that useful, but that's something that's in there for right now. And if we hit shift up and the sync button, will cancel any loop. Shift down on the sync button acts as a tap button for setting your beat grid. What else do we have in here? But I'm not going to show you every single little feature. This is just what I'm thinking of off the top of my head. But there's more. When you read the description, you'll see there's just a ton of stuff you can do with this now. Now, of course, we have the jog wheel for searching through the track. But if you hit shift down and move the jog wheel, you can actually move your beat grid to help with setting up beat grids in your track and getting two songs to match up so that you don't have to keep beat matching them over and over again. Let's see what else we have. Okay, we delete our 4 cue points. Shift down, cancel the loop. Now, what else do we have here? You have your usual up and down through the track list, and if you hit shift up and one of the browser buttons, it will go 10. And if you hit shift down and hit the up or down button, it goes to the end or the beginning, or the end or the beginning of the list. So if you hit shift, if you hold the shift down and you hit up, it goes to the beginning, and vice versa. Now, we also have if you hit shift up, now we have the file and folder part of the browser. If you hit shift up and hit file, it will clone the track to the opposite side from the left to the right. If you hold the shift up and hit folder, it will do clone deck the opposite direction, which is kind of neat. And let's see what else. If you hit shift down and folder, it will jump to the side list. And as we browse, side list is a good way to figure out, like to make like a crate to set things up. So if you hit shift down in files, it will add the file to the side list. So we add a little browsing functionality to that. Let me jump into now I'm taking the Instinct into loop mode here. Now in loop mode, we have the loop enable, which is on the 1 key. The 3 and 4 key, stretch and shrink the loop. Turns it back off again. Let me close out. Oh, I didn't even have to do that. So we'll close out let's get rid of the loop there. So now on the left side, or we work on the right side, it's fine. We have so we have a loop size set over there. Now that's reloop. Sorry, I'm getting a little tongue-tied here. Shut the loop off. Loop size is set. Now we can play the song, and we can start the loop right here. Now we can shut the loop off, let the song play for a little bit, and then hit the 2 key and we reloop. Jump back to where we were, and the loop starts back up again. Now, shut the loop off. Stop the song from playing. Now, if you hold shift up and hit 1, 2, 3, 4, you get quick loops that are just set wherever you are. That's for short loops. And if you hold the shift down and hit the 4 loop buttons, you get 4 longer loops. That's just so you can loop quick if you know what size you need and you just need to throw a loop in right now. A couple of different ways to do that with this mapping. Let's see what else. A couple of other things here. If you notice the equalizers on the left, I'm going to set everything real quick, and we can even change the filter. Change the filter here. We could change the resonance. I'm going to jump to effect mode. Where is it? Effect mode. Now I'm going to turn on a couple of effects. So I got EQs messed up. I got my filter messed up. I got all this stuff on. Now if we take the headphone listen button and hold it down for 1 full second, all that stuff gets reset. Effects get cut off, filters get reset, EQs get reset, everything. So you can just kind of clear a track back to normal. That's about all I'm going to go over for right now, because there's so many different things with this. I'm getting lost in trying to explain it. You'll have more fun if you just play around with it. Even if you don't have an Instinct, this mapping might still be interesting for you to look at. You can download and look at the XML to see how I did some of this weird stuff. And if you do have an Instinct, I'd appreciate you trying it out with VirtualDJ and see how it works for you and try the different options out. And okay, guys, that's it for now. Let me know if this works out, and I would love some feedback, any kind of messages. Tell me it sucks. Tell me you love it. Anyway, I'll see y'all later.